Ken Olumese, widely known as the Guv'nor, just celebrated his 80th birthday, marking a significant impact on Nigeria's entertainment industry. As the founder of the renowned Night Shift Coliseum in Lagos, Olumese revolutionized the nightlife scene, creating a distinguished venue that became a hub for elite social events and a platform for emerging talent. His contributions transformed the entertainment landscape, fostering a culture of creativity and social creation in the community. The celebration of Olumese's 80th birthday highlighted the enduring impact of his leadership and vision, his innovative leadership and dedication to promoting local talent made Night Shift a hub for music and social interaction.
It's a good night, not only for a family, but for all of us who regard ourselves as members of the family of the governor, as we call him. Look, we've known the governor for a long time. I've known him for probably close to 30 years. So I regard myself as a member of his family. And you see, when you look at the faces of the people who are here tonight, then you will know what loyalty means. We are loyal to him.
Well, first about this event tonight, big congratulations to people who put this event together. It's a befitting tribute. I've seen people here that I've not seen in the last 25 years. The Night Shift family has been brought together, so they've done a good job of defining the legacy of the governor, or we call him the Guv'nor, in terms of his association with people, in terms of what he has done to the entertainment industry in Nigeria. And then beyond that, I would like to congratulate him on this occasion of his 80th birthday.
The governor, I would say, is godfather to a lot of people who are now dons in the entertainment industry. I happen to be part of the history of Night Shift Coliseum, Night Shift before it became Coliseum, from day one. And I saw myself and my contemporaries who are doing well for themselves in different aspects of entertainment and media as young men. In fact, starting from boys, right? Growing up within the Night Shift environment, mentored by the governor of Night Shift, and growing up to become who we are today, severally. For him to be 80, I say God should continue to preserve him, give him longer life, in health, in prosperity, so that we can continue to see him and be happy seeing him.
We now have with us the man himself, Ken Olumese, governor of Night Shift Coliseum, 21 Salvation Road or Kwabi Road. He joins me now to talk about his industry and his country. Good to have you on This Day Live, Mr. Ken Olumese. Well, the governor, the only governor who does not go
Thank you very much.
on leave. We have 36 state governors, plus the governor of the central bank, and you, the 38th governor of Night Shift Coliseum. But quickly, you are 80 now. How has it been? How do you feel at 80? And
Well,
why did you leave pharmacy to become a nightclub impresario?
Well, thank you, Ruben, for having me anyway. To answer the last question first, I left my pharmaceutical job to engage in nightclubbing because that was my passion and that was the job I felt I could do well, and I tried to do it as much as possible.
Okay.
Then my life in retirement, since I left the scene, I think I'm happy at home with my children and grandchildren, and I believe life goes on. To me, age is it's a matter of numbers. I'm just number 80 now, so and I don't feel anything different.
Well, I mean, you started out as a communist. You were a member of the Farmers Workers' Party, Socialist Party. You went to the Soviet Union. But ironically, you are now a capitalist. You have ended up as a capitalist, running a big business and living in choice location in Nigeria. How about that for ideology?
You should remember that when I went to the Soviet Union, I was still I was still young. I needed education, I needed opportunities, and then I went there. I haven't seen the two sides of the world. I saw communism at its best, and I saw capitalism at its best. And I felt I would be more comfortable not to become a capitalist, but to make some small money to make me comfortable.
Okay, you went into
so that's my own.
You went into nightclubbing.
Yeah, go on, Ruben.
A business that is dominated by women, wine, and money. How did you strike the balance? Women, wine, and money.
Yes, those are the three evil things on earth. But everything depends upon the focus you have. And I think I believed that for me to succeed, I should be disciplined. And I tried to be as disciplined as possible. In any other type of business, you also have temptations. But during our time when we started, when there was no cashless society, you had to bring cash to buy your things. And I felt it was a very big temptation for you to have a business with a combination of women, wine, and money. You yourself agree with me that it's not an easy job. But I tried my best to be as disciplined as possible.
Okay.
And that is all I can say about that.
Okay, do good now. When you came back from Soviet Union, you got involved in, was it Festac 77, and, arts and all of that. And then you later became the owner of a nightclub when you left your job with Russell Pharmaceuticals. When you look at this scene today, how do you feel about the entertainment industry, the tourism industry, considering the fact that you spent about 2 decades of your life and more in that industry?
Yes. First and foremost, I believe at least there's some growth. But I'm not satisfied with the growth. Because I think the government talks all the time about tourism. I'm told they have a Ministry of Tourism. Almost every state government has a Ministry of Tourism. But how do you attract these very tourists? Who are the tourists? We don't have facilities to encourage anybody coming to visit us. There are no good roads. There is no electricity. The water is scarce except you have a borehole. So what is the government doing? They always say it every year. They have big budgets. But I don't think they are really serious about tourism. If they are serious about tourism, they would know where to start from. I'm not a politician, but I'm talking from...
Where do you think government should start from?
A politician.
Where do you think government should start from? with regard to tourism?
They will start from the local government. They will start from the local government. It's not just coming to Abuja or coming to Lagos, the capital of a city, or the capital of a state, to put a signboard and say tourism. It will start from everywhere. You want to start tourism. It starts from the basics. From the airport, for example, your taxi drivers, the people in the hotels, these people must be biased towards good tourism. It's not just saying we want, tourists. The issue there is the government really serious? And I notice, regrettably, that the subsequent Nigerian government always put the wrong pegs in the wrong holes. People that talk about tourism, they know nothing about just tourism. I can assure you, apart from few people that are members of night shift, if you go to Abuja, hardly will you say you know that they know something about the night shift collision, which operated for over 25 to 30 years. And you are talking about tourism. And when foreigners come into this country, the first place they visit in Lagos is the night shift collision. And yet, the government is not very aware.
Well,
and the people in the, yes, and I believe too that the government is lacking in recognition of the people that are even involved in tourism. That is my candid opinion.
Well, Governor, tell us about your journey. I mean, you came from a small community, the university town of Ekpoma, Lord have mercy, and you went to Benin. From Benin, you went to Moscow, you came to Lagos, and you made your impact in Lagos. Just tell us about the key moments in your life and how the journey has been.
Well, thank you very much, Ruben. My story is like the story of any other young man in those days who wanted to excel in what he was doing. I was born into a family of 5. I was born into a monogamous home, and I was number 3, but the first boy. My father was a headmaster in schools, and my mother was a seamstress. And so during my growing up days, my father had to travel from one place to another because he was being posted to different stations as a teacher. But I finished up in 1955 in Ihumudumu, which is not too far from the university town of Ekpoma anyway, if that is what you want to hear. And from there I went to Horsey College. I went to West Hamada School for my secondary education. After then I went to Horsey College for my higher school. Then I came back to look for a job as a young student, as a young graduate from the higher school. And I was lucky, the son of the Minister of Internal Affairs then in Midway State, Prince Shaka Momodu, gave us a job, gave me a job, gave the son a job, and some other young friends in the government printing press in Benin City. We are there. It was from there I enrolled as a member of the Nigerian, as a member of the youth wing of the Nigerian Farmers and Workers' Party, led by then Tuji Otegbeye and Comrade Wahab. Good luck. I got a scholarship and we had to travel to Soviet Union. It took me, I remember, about 4 months to travel from Benin We arrived Lagos, and we were to go. We made all this journey to Ouagadougou, then the capital of Upper Volta, as it was called then, by road. And we tried to go through the friendly countries like Ghana, where Nkrumah was, and then Guinea with Sékou Touré, and then Mali with Modibo Keïta. So we ended up in Mali, and from there we took off after spending about 4 months, and we went to the Soviet Union. Then the federal government had scholarships from the Soviet Union, and they rejected it. I said, no, they don't need any type of scholarship. So it was then Wole Soyinka said, oh, if the devil gives you scholarship, why not accept them? It will develop your nation. But well, we went to Soviet Union and came back. And again, as luck would have it then, a friend of mine, a veteran journalist, one Alfred Ileri, is late now, took me to his friend, Chief Anthony Enahoro, who was then the commissioner for information. That was after the Civil War. And then I told him I needed a job. He gave me a job in the Nigerian Money Post, but in the section of press releases. And I was not a journalist. I had no idea what journalism was all about. And I complained, and they sent me to work under Dr. Ashiwaju, who was then the head of the Department of Arts and Culture under the ministry. Luckily again, they made him chairman of the Nigerian Participation Committee of the festival. So he took me along and took me to the medical department of the festival. But after 2 months, I was sent to the executive secretary's office, headed by Mr. A.K. Oba. And I stayed there until the expiration, until Festac was held and worn down. Then I saw an advert saying that they wanted medical visitors and hospital visitors from qualified Nigerians in the pharmaceutical firm, Russell, Nigeria Limited. So I applied. After a series of interviews, I was employed, engaged as a medical rep. And I was posted to Lagos State. And I tried my best to do my job then. As luck, we also have it. By this time, I already had a very strong hold in the in the hospitals where I was supposed to be visiting. My late brother-in-law, Professor Aneze Okoro, Emeritus, Professor Emeritus, had already introduced me by this time to his colleagues in Lut, which was the Center of Medical Excellence then. So I got, I already knew the Dean of the Faculty of Medicine, like Professor Femi Pierce. I had so many friends there. So it made my job very easy. But unfortunately, or may I say fortunately, the office recalled me to the office. And I felt bad because I had allowances, petrol subsidies, and so on. But when I was recalled to the office to work in the administration, I was stripped of all these facilities and conditions. So I met one of my friends also. I talked to one of my friends who was employed almost at the same time with me, one Mr. Akiboro Mike. But he was posted to Ibadan. He spoke to me. I said, look, why not accept the job? You don't know what God has got in stock. So I stayed in the office. Then fortunately for me, my managing director then, one Mr. M.J. Wyatt, he loved staying in Kaduna and said, so he allowed me to run the office in Lagos. So I did my best, and when he came back, and my main office, my head office in London, they were also pleased with my job. And in one of my management courses I had in Paris, they informed me that they intended to make me a director, whether I would accept the job. I told them yes, I would. But that I told them outright that my interest in life is to run an entertainment outfit. I want to run a club. And they said, well, they will go ahead. And in fact, they supported me. The initial facilities I used to open the club on Okwabi Road, where the facilities were supplied by my office in London. So I did my job as an executive director, and with the small contacts I had in the public space, I was able to achieve my aim. Then, after 15 years, I decided to retire to face my business. But there's one thing that I never forgot. When I was employed, when I was made an executive director, I did my best to help the Nigerian staff. I prepared a new welfare package because there has never been an African as a director in the company. And I did my best. But there was heavy intrigue. The new managing director that came from London felt I was a little bit maybe too powerful and so on, and said he never needed me. But he was naive because my appointment was a board one, not an appointment by him. And regrettably, some Nigerian staff joined him and they wanted me out. But because I was meticulous in keeping sensitive documents, I knew that
Guv'nor,
that they would, yeah.
Guv'nor, we have to go now.
Yes.
But before we go,
Okay.
women, wine, money. Which of these three items do you think has been the most influential factor in your life? Women, wine, money.
None of them has been influential in my life. They only aided my job because that was the nature of my job.
Okay, thank you very much,
Yes.
Governor Ken Caleb's Olumese, Guv'nor of the National Coliseum.